roadside, the state law right now does not protect just the average everyday driver on the roadside. So if you do have a flat tire, if you do have engine trouble, and you're on the side of the Veterans Expressway, it'd be nice if people would move over for you too. So that's one thing that we're advocating from AAA, is to broaden or expand the existing slow down, move over law here in Florida to protect everyone, whether you have a flashing light on your emergency vehicle or a flashing hazard light on your car. Everyone should have to slow down and move over to protect anybody on the roadside when they have a disabled vehicle. Right now, with AAA launching this Move Over campaign, of course, we're very strong advocates, and we are in support of the existing Slow Down, Move Over law because it does protect our tow truck drivers who are very near and dear to us. I mean, these are the folks who are out there who are putting their lives on the line every single day to help stranded motorists to ensure that they can get back on the road safely and as quick as possible. Unfortunately, though, not everybody obeys that law as it currently stands. People don't always move over for our tow truck drivers. It's a very dangerous business. I mean, right now, every other week, a tow truck driver is killed while working on the roadside. And right now, joining us is Miguel Maldonado. And Miguel, if you don't mind coming up, I mean, Miguel is one of those people who puts his life on the line every single day as a representative of AAA. We're extremely grateful to have you working for us. And are you able to just come over and kind of describe for us what life is like working on the roadside right now? I've been doing that, yeah.
Well, every call, especially on the side of the road, it's dangerous. There's a lot of things that can happen and go wrong. But one of the things that I've noticed, especially on the highway behind us, the Veterans Expressway, I've noticed that as we are putting out our cones, we have to pay attention to traffic that's coming towards you. And as we're putting up our cones, we're paying attention to the people on the right lane. And a lot of times I've seen people just as they're passing you, they're on their phone, never moved to the left lane. Sometimes some of the folks that pass you, they see you, but don't bother to make an effort to switch lanes or give you that space that we need to be safe.
Miguel,
What's your name, and real quick, just give us your name and how you spell it, please.
Yes, my name is Miguel Maldonado, Miguel Maldonado, Maldonado.
Hey, Miguel, you're a professional at this. Can you describe for yourself and then how it must be for others who aren't professionals to deal with traffic whipping past them and how dangerous that can be?
Yeah, it can be very dangerous, especially on rainy conditions, stuff like that. It makes it even more dangerous. As far as for me, we kind of do get used to the noise, the vehicles passing by at high speed, stuff like that. But for motors that's broken down, they do tend to panic, especially when they break down and they have no way of actually moving to safety or off the road. Sometimes you do get those situations where the vehicle's broken down in the middle of the road, and really most drivers are not mechanical savvy. They panic and don't know what to do because there's no way that they can move the vehicle to a safer spot. And again, that's why it's very important, when you see flashing lights.
How big of a deal is that buffer?
It's a big deal, if you slip or anything like that, you have that cushion for small errors, or accidents that happen, slip-ups, that cushion is very big. Sometimes I think vehicles just don't move because they don't see somebody on that side of the road. But we are there. We might be on the other side of the road, underneath the vehicle, hooking up chains, stuff like that. So again, it is very important because even a little scuffle on the vehicle can create a lot of damage to the person working on it.
Miguel, I have two questions. Have you had a colleague who's had a close call?
I have heard some stories from colleagues. We do put our cones out. We give it a pretty good distance. It's a buffer, If somebody's not paying attention and they hit a cone, that's a signal to them that to pay attention and hopefully get them to move away. But I have had some colleagues that have mentioned their cones being hit.
So, drive with me in your personal car when you're driving down the road and you see something. What triggers are you looking for? What says to you, something's up ahead? Tell me what it's like for you as a driver.
Right. Well, one thing that we're trained to do is we look ahead of us. You know, we try to look ahead of us to see what's going on in front of you, not just in the car right in front of you, but maybe 15 seconds ahead. Pay attention to stopping lights, and obviously pay attention to any flashing lights. Those will grab your attention. That's what we look for. Try not to get too close to other vehicles, just to give us a lead time to get in and out if we need to in case of an emergency. But yeah, one thing that I do in my normal driving is, you know, do a 15-second lead time, just to see what's going on in the vehicles that are in front of other vehicles.
There we go. Good job, man. I'll kind of wrap it up here.
Mark, I have another question for you.
Sure,
Are you guys seeking legislation? I mean, the law is the law.
it is.
And I don't know, what do we do next? What's the next step?
Yeah, so you know, through the years, AAA has you know, worked hard to pass various. AAA has worked really hard to pass different levels of legislation, whether we work on texting and driving, the slow down, move over law, and I think this is definitely something that we're going to be taking up and looking at closely in the year 2023. But right now, it's more about awareness. We want to make sure that people are aware of the slow down, move over law as it currently stands. About 25% of people aren't even aware of that, and so that's very important, of course, for saving lives. But you know, as we move, you know, through the next year or so, we want to try to work very closely with lobbyists and with lawmakers to try to get this law strengthened right now. I mean, as it stands, every year about 350 people are killed nationwide on the roadside. Florida ranks number 3 for roadside deaths that include collisions, with 112 people who were killed on the roadside between the years 2016 and 2020. These type of deaths can be prevented if motorists know to slow down and to move over, to give these people cushion. And it's just important to remember that it's not always just the tow truck drivers who are at risk. It's the everyday Joe who's sitting on the side of the road with car trouble who is also at risk. And that's where Move Over for Me comes into play. I want you to move over for me. And I'm sure that any other driver out there who has car trouble would want you to move over for them as well. So, you know, I think that, oh yeah, and then the other thing too is that there is a slow down, move over law in every state in the country, but only 8 states have a move over law that protects disabled vehicles. We want to see Florida become one of those states.
How does that extend to so many vehicles that are abandoned on the side? So a vehicle have to have, for example, flashers on, so there'll be an indication that you better move over. There may be somebody, you know, in distress here. If I see a cop car, I know that that's an issue. If I see a tow truck with its lights on, I know that it's a roadway. Same thing. But if there's just a car on the side of the road, do I need to slow down and move over, or is it if somebody's out of the car, or is it if they have the flashers on?
Yeah, I think that's something that we're probably going to look into in the coming months, you know, to see what, you know, how the different details of the law and what exactly needs to be enforced. As it stands right now, I mean, a tow truck driver could be working on the side of the road. You might not even see him because he's underneath the vehicle. The same goes for people, whether they're inside the vehicle or outside the vehicle. I mean, there's an inherent danger of being on the roadside when cars are whizzing past you at 60, 70 miles per hour. So we just want to do everything we can to try to heighten the level of safety for anyone who might be experiencing car trouble.
But no detail yet on how the vehicle.
Nope, not yet. Yeah, still in the early going on that, Eric. But thanks for asking those penetrating questions. I just kidding.
What's your name and spelling real quick?
Sure. Yeah, it's Mark Jenkins, MarkJenkins, AAA spokesman. That's it for me. You guys have everything you need?
Hey, Mark,
Cool.
I got a question, one more question.
Sure.
I got you here. We're coming up on holidays. I know
Yes.
it's a little early, but talk to us about it's different. And you know what? It's different because
Yep.
of COVID. Since COVID, it's different. Tell me about the holiday concerns that the folks at AAA have, and what should we be looking out for as drivers?
You know, when the holiday season comes around, everyone's in a hurry, you know, and they're thinking about what's going on in their personal lives. And when you're in a hurry, sometimes you take unnecessary risks while you're behind the wheel. And this Thanksgiving and holiday season, millions of people will be out on the road. And some of them will have car trouble too. So it's important for everyone to just be courteous of one another when you're driving up and you're passing somebody on the roadside, it's all the more reason to keep this in mind, especially as we head into the holiday season, because millions of people will be out on the road, especially those who are experiencing car trouble. Give them that space. Even though it's not the law right now, you can still extend that courtesy to your fellow driver who might be stuck on the roadside, to give them that space that they need. Make sure that they're safe as well. Sure. All right, awesome. Thank you. Thanks for coming, everybody.